Hey there, my name is Rohit Kumar, and today we are going to discuss another journal of IEEE, whose name is IEEE Transactions on Industrial Electronics. This journal is a very well-known journal of IEEE and is listed under the journal and magazine category of IEEE. Now, coming to the homepage, so submit manuscript, adding the title to alert and adding the title to the favorites and the RSS feed. Additionally, some of the popular early access, current issue, all issues, and the about journal menus are available at the homepage like any other IEEE journal or transaction. Coming down, here are the some popular metrics, and just by seeing these metrics, you can see that how powerful this particular journal is. Impact factor, which usually people consider for evaluation, is quite powerful. It is near to it, and the articles in this journals are peer reviewed. And peer reviewed means minimum two independent reviewers are supposed to evaluate your submissions, and all the submissions are supposed to get published in accordance with the procedures which are stated in the IEEE PSPB operational manual. Okay, now coming to the peer review process. So it is the single blind peer review process which this particular journal follows. It means the reviewers do know the identity of authors, but authors don't. Okay, now coming to the full aim and scope of the journal, because it is very important if you want to get published into this particular journal. So this journal focuses on the industrial systems and the processes, and in particular the electronic and the electric motor drives and signal and system, the fault detection and diagnosis, power systems, motion controls, modeling and simulation, testing, actuators, the sensors, robotics, and the applications of AI in different industrial processes. Because nowadays, and due to the advancements of technology, so much data is being generated, and the new technologies in terms of machine learning and deep learning, those are quite popular in the industrial era because so many robots are functioning, and the automated systems have become the essential part of any industrial system. So we can see that these are some societies which are providing their support for the functioning of this particular journal. Coming to the publication details, so the peer review means we have already discussed that this journal is the single blind peer review. Additionally, the articles public processing and the publication charges are applicable, which is quite usual. In addition to this, if you have some errors with respect to article publication, you may contact to the editor and the editorial team board members. And additionally, where you need to go, what to get the support. Additionally, all these things are listed here. Okay, some publishing ethics, copyright, licensing, at the post publication related information, and the advertising related links are provided here. ISSN number is given over here. Now coming to the information, so this journal focuses on the industrial electronics, then the information for the authors and the editorial board members details are provided. IEEE Industrial Electronics Society is the main society sponsoring this particular journal, and the ML Levy is the editor-in-chief who belongs to the Department of Electronics and Electrical Engineering, Liverpool, John Moores University, London, John Moores University, UK. Now coming to that frequency, because frequency is very important, and usually the journals who have very good impact factor, usually their frequency is more, or at least the acceptance rate is more. So here you can see it is a monthly journal, and that's why its impact factor is so good. Additionally, the subjects which are in focus, they are the communication network and the broadcast technology, power, energy, and the industrial application and signal processing related analysis are in the focus. To discuss some of the previous titles, you may use these links, but I think those are not as of much related. If you are a fresh author or the writer, you should very much be related to these links which are given over here in the form of author resources. So submission guidelines, submit manuscript, author center, becoming a reviewer, open access public options are available. If you don't know how to write an article or what are the common practices when to submit this particular journal, you should go to submission guidelines. When you are ready with your manuscript, then you should go with the submit manuscript. If you want to have some additional tools and techniques with respect to the author's help and support, then you should use the author center. If you want to become a reviewer, you should choose the becoming a reviewer link. And finally, if you are interested about the open access policy of the journal, you should choose this particular link. It will guide you to the IEEE open tool. Okay, now coming to the current issues and the early access, because current issues and early access are very much important. Or if you don't want to explore these two, then you can move at the home page and you can see the latest published articles. So latest published articles will give you a glimpse of the technology and the tools which are in focus, because if you are focusing on a particular journal, you should get aware that what sort of tools and techniques are in the focus, and then according to those focuses, if you design your work, then there is a higher probability that your work get accepted in that particular journal or transaction. So here you can see that unidirectional rectification for medium voltage applications. Okay, then the online diagnosis systems, then the open circuit IGBT, design and field application of DC and harmonic suppression systems, then the decoding algorithms for long prediction, etc. Now coming to here, then here is the synchronous reluctance machines with combined star pentagon configuration using standard three-phase stator frames. So I'm not getting very much about these technologies in particular, because DC motors, etc., and the kind of online diagnosis, design and field applications of DC and harmonic systems, these sort of systems are still quite understood. But if you go to here, this is synchronous reluctance machines with combined star pentagon configuration using standard three-phase stator frames, then I don't know much about it. And obviously, if you are core to the electronic fields, you might be having a very fundamental idea. But being a computer science or the sort of IT guy, you don't know much about electronics, then don't think that this particular journal is not for you. If you go into the actually aim and scope, then some sort of automation if you provide to improve the existing industrial processes, then also it may become a focus of your work. But still, the final guideline, because having a very rough overview might be dangerous, and just submitting the manuscript just to see that what happens, and then it will simply kill your time. So submit only if you are very much sure that your work lies within the aim and scope of a particular journal. And if you don't have any static or the kind of very strict timelines, and then obviously you are free, you can submit your articles, at least even if your paper will get rejected, but you will get some useful comments. In the very initial stage, if it gets rejected due to the out of scope or something like that, then obviously you'll get to know that you need to change your paper in a major form so that you come into the aim and scope of the journal. Now moving to the point impact factor. So many people say that impact factor is the very good and we should go for it. No. Firstly, you should see whether the index is SCI indexed or not. Secondly, you should check the whether the journal is Q1 listed or not. Then only you should consider the impact factor. So impact factor no doubt is good, but again it may depend on the how many number of review and the tutorials are being accepted, what is the frequency of the journal, etc. Okay. So impact factor gives a rough assumption, but not the exact assumption. So we are going to check whether the journal is SCI or not. So we need to copy the name of the journal. Then we'll search with the SCI list. It will send us to the Clarivate site where we'll search our journal name, and then we'll see whether it belongs to the SCI list or not. So here you can see that it belongs to the Science Citation Index Expanded, means SCIE, which is almost synonymous to the SCI list. And in this way, we can say it's a SCI journal. And now coming to the Q ranking. So we are coming to SCI Mago site, and here you can see the H index is very powerful, which is close to 300. Okay, usually the H index more than 100 is good enough, but if you have close to 300, very, very good. It's a USA journal with two major tracks, computer science and engineering, offering the computer science applications and the control system engineering and electronic and electrical engineering in the form of subtracks. Now coming down here, you have the ISSN and the coverage of the journal and some of the related links. Coming to the aim and scope, so we have discussed this, but still if you want to see, then some of the issues related to the electronic and divide control techniques, system control and signal processing, fault detection and diagnosis, implementation of neural nets of fuzzy logic, artificial intelligence in industries, testing, modeling and simulation, motion control, robotics, sensors, etc. Okay, so anything which makes an industrial environment to become automated, that is the focus of this particular journal. And obviously for the smooth maintenance, etc., fault tolerance, signal processing, and the proper maintenance of the electronic environment is also important. So all these things become the part of focus. Now coming to the quartile details, so here you can see it's all Q1, throughout Q1 except the first year, except this 1999. I don't think it's the first year, but they have provided the coverage from here only. Yes, it started in 1969, then up to 78, then 82 to 2020. So in this way, whatever they have provided means in 1999, the first two quartiles were Q2, remaining all are given. So in this way, it is very good and a very strong track record. Now all three things are confirmed. First, it is SAE. Second thing, it's almost throughout given, and the third thing, its impact factor is close to it, which is very good thing. Okay, so my suggestion is to go for publication into this particular journal, and if you get the chance to get published, it's a very good thing, because these sort of journals give a very good impression, or at least the opportunity to get very good collaborations. And many times when you get very good collaborations with respect to some particular domain, then the future possibilities of publishing good works becomes more. So when you target this sort of journals, then one question comes to mind, that what are the related domains? Because usually the kind of related domains are very important, and these sort of journals also encourage the interdisciplinary research. So if you are citing the related domains or the some of the related keywords, then it becomes easy to get published into these sort of journals. So coming to the related areas, the electrical engineering, electromagnetism, very large scale integration, dynamic system theory, control theory, electricity, power engineering, fault tolerance, electronic engineering, etc. are the related areas. Coming to the keywords, so DC to DC converter, distributed generations, then maximum power points tracking, and then sliding mode control, power inverter, induction motors, then the mathematical modeling, and electrical grid, etc. are some of the major keywords. So I think you must have mm, had a basic idea that what sort of topics or the keywords you should focus on. Additionally, more than 175 plus countries authors have been publishing their work and are continuously publishing their work with this particular journal. So the journal is quite powerful, and some of the alternative journals, according to the past authors of this particular journal, are the proceedings of SPIE, the International Society for Optical Engineering, IEEE Transactions on Industrial Applications, MDPI Energies, IIT Power Electronics, Automatica, MDPI Sensors, the Mechanical Systems and Signal Processing, Microwave and Optical Technology Letters, Neurocomputing, etc. Okay. Now, if you want to change the publisher, then obviously Elsevier, SPIE, Springer, Wiley, and the ACM, Taylor and Francis, IOP, Sage, etc. are the common rivals of IEEE. So you can go for that. And coming to the rate of returning authors, so which is very, very good for this particular journal, because when you have some top-notch journals, so obviously authors want to return back for more citations, for more recognition, for better collaboration possibilities. And this is true with this particular journal also. And its rate of returning author is very good. Coming to the content, so this journal focuses on different category of content, including the engineering, physics, and computer science. In computer science, specifically, the areas include the very large scale integration. They include the computer networks, computational science, the fault tolerance, and specific focus on computer-aided designs also, because in industrial environment, the design has also become a major part of focus. So in this way, means you can think whether this journal is suitable for you or not. In my opinion, it's a very good journal. Still, you think that it is not so good and we should consider some other things also, please let me know through your comments. And in the end, if you didn't like anything, please let me know through your criticism. I would like to learn and will like to improve my future videos. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks again. Happy learning.